There is a moment before the breaking, when everything is still, when you can feel the weight of what's coming, but you don't yet know its name. I have stood at that threshold more times than I can count. Hands empty, eyes open, wondering if I would survive what was on the other side. I always did. Barely, but I did. Here I am again, at the edge of it all. Here I am again, with a shaky breath and nothing to lose. Here I am again, and I'm still standing. I'm still standing. I'm still standing. I'm still standing. There is a moment before the breaking, when everything is still, when you can feel the weight of what's coming, but you don't yet know its name. I have stood at that threshold more times than I can count. Hands empty, eyes open, wondering if I would survive what was on the other side. I always did. Barely, but I did. Here I am again, at the edge of it all. Here I am again, with a shaky breath and nothing to lose. Here I am again, and I'm still standing. I'm still standing. I'm still standing. I have called into the dark and heard nothing back. I have laid my hands on the altar and walked away cracked. Every prayer is stone thrown into still water, fading, fading. Is anyone there, or am I just talking to the ceiling again? Melodic, strange, climbing, but something moves beneath the silence. Something breathes inside the doubt. I have been here before, broken, and something pulled me out. I will not kneel to what is hunting me. I will not bow to what I cannot see. I was made for more than this suffering. Come for me. Covering. Hell has no claim on me. I am the dark. did not leave me in the grave. You did not let the dark have the last word. Every scar, evidence. Every scar, yours. You took the ruin and you called it chosen. You took the wound and you called it open. You took the ash and breathed it into armor. I am not who I was. I am not who I was. I will not kneel to what is haunting me. I will not bow to what I cannot see. I was made for more than this suffering. Come for me, I dare you. I was bought with blood, I wear the covering. Hell has no claim on me. I am the daughter of a king who bleeds. I am the war you cannot win. Even here, even now, even still. Slow, almost monotone, like someone going through the motions. I went to church on Sunday, sang the words I used to mean, held my hands up out of habit, felt absolutely nothing. The lights were bright, the sermon good, the people smiled at me, and I smiled back and drove home empty again. Is this what dying feels like, or just what living does? When everything you built your face on quietly stops being enough. Melodic, aching, not angry, just hollow. I am the hollow, where the fire used to be. I am the silence, where the worship used to breathe. I'm not angry, God. I'm not even fighting anymore. I am the hollow, knocking on a door. I read the words like reading stone, familiar, cold, unmoved. I pray the prayers I memorized before I had a reason to. The faith of my childhood sits on the shelf, collecting dust beside the person that I was. Before all this, I don't know how to want you right now. I don't know if that's allowed, but I'm still here. I haven't left, that has to count for something. I'm still here. I'm still here. I haven't walked away. I'm still here. Even hollow, even gray. I handed out the stones. I brought my wounds inside those walls, believing I was safe. You used the scripture like a sword and called the bleeding grace. Rising, you are not what you represent. You are not the God you claim, and I will not let what you did to me become what I think of as next. Explosive wolves at the altar, dressed in white, using the sacred to justify the crime. Wolves at the altar, I see you now, but the God you twisted is not the one I found. He is not you. He is not you. I have watched the sheep be scattered by the ones who held the crook. I have seen the lost go further from the doors of what you took. But the kingdom isn't yours to ruin, and the cross is not your brand, and every soul you turned away is held in other hands. Wolves at the altar, dressed in white, using the sacred to justify the crime. Wolves at the altar, I see you now, but the God you twisted is not the one I found. He is not you. He is not you. You do not speak for him. 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 We're looking in the wreckage for the God you said was there, and I found him in the rubble, not behind the podium, out here with the rest of us. He was never in the throne you built. He was always on the floor with us. Quiet, intimate. I have prayed for things that never came. I have begged with tears I'm not ashamed of. I have claimed the promises by name and watched the silence swallow all of it. My hands are worn from knocking on a door that hasn't moved. I believe you're on the other side, I just can't hear you. And maybe faith was never meant to feel like certainty. Maybe this is what it looks like, trusting what I cannot say. Fall away, not angry, devastated but still standing. Beneath the silence, you are still there. Beneath the nothing, something stirs in the air. I cannot prove it, I cannot explain, but I would rather die believing than live without your name. Beneath the silence, you are still there. I have watched the ones I prayed for slip through every prayer I made. I have held the unanswered like a wound that never fades, and I know the Sunday answers. I have given them myself, but right now I just need you to be real, not a doctrine on a shelf. asked, David asked, even your own son asked, why have you forsaken me? And you didn't answer with an explanation. You answered with resurrection. So I will wait. I will wait. I will wait in the dark for the morning you promised. Beneath the silence still. Beneath the silence still. Aggressive, locked in. I was not made for surrender. I was not built for the grave. Every scar on my body is evidence of every war that I've survived. You have come for me before. You have had me on my knees. But the one who lives inside me has never once been defeated. Tightening, building. So come with your legion, come with your lies, come with the darkness you've dressed up in light. I know your name now, I know what you are, and I am not the girl you left broken in the dark. Full force and fervor, blood and bone I am standing, blood and bone I remain, but by blood I am covered, you cannot have me again. Blood and bone I was broken, blood and bone I was raised. I am blood and bone and spirit, and I will not be moved today. Slightly faster, more intense. You whispered that I wasn't worthy, that the cross was meant for better people. You dressed your lies in half-truths, and I almost let you keep me. But I have read what's written over me. I have heard my Father's voice, and every chain you put around me burned away when I made my choice. Tightening, building. So come with your legion, come with your lies, come with the darkness you've dressed up in light. I know your name now, I know what you are, and I am not the girl you left broken in the dark. Hush. You are already defeated. You are already defeated. The tomb was empty. The tomb was empty. And if you walked out of the grave, then I can walk out of this room. And if he conquered what you are, then there is nothing left to lose. 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 Searching on the shore, searching on shore. I used to know my name, I used to know what I was made of. Now I look into the mirror, and I'm not sure who looks back. I have worn so many versions of whoever they needed, gave away so many pieces, there's not much left to find. Rising with emotion, but somewhere in the wreckage, somewhere in the ash, there is something that was planted long before the breaking happened. Something that survived. Powerful, declarative. I am the daughter of ruin, rebuilt by the hands that made the stars. I am the daughter of ruin, and ruin could not hold me. Ruin is not my name. I was never just the broken thing. I was always what would rise. I am the daughter of ruin, and I am alive. More grounded, finding footing. They name me by my failures, they define me by my worst day. Built a box around the story and told me that was all I'd be. But the one who spoke, the cosmos spoke something else over me. And I am learning very slowly to believe it. You didn't call me ruined, you called me chosen. You didn't call me broken, you called me daughter. Daughter at first, daughter, daughter. I am learning how to wear that name. Daughter, it fits different than the shame, and I will not give it back. I will not give it back. This is who I am. Daughter, just daughter. Daughter, just daughter. Barely above a whisper, exhausted. I haven't left the bed in 3 days. The light gets in through curtains I keep closed. I rehearse the reasons I should get up, and none of them feel real enough to hold. I know the word for what this is. I've said them to a stranger in a chair, but make it any easier to bear. Strain, reaching, and I am trying. God, I want you to know I am trying. I am holding on with both hands to a rope I cannot see. Slow and crushing, the weight of water filling up my lungs, the weight of water when the fighting's done. I am sinking, I am sinking. Is anyone watching me sink? The weight of water pulling me below, the weight of water. God, I need you to know I am trying, I am trying. I just need someone to pull. Raw, honest. I smiled at everyone on Sunday, set on fire in the way you do. Put the armor on for public, and came home and fell right through. I don't want a list of scriptures, I don't want to be fixed with words tonight. I just want to know that you see me drowning here behind the light. Strain, reaching, and I am trying. God, I want you to know I am trying. I am holding on with both hands to a rope I cannot see. Slow and crushing, the weight of water filling up my lungs, the weight of water when the fighting's done. I am sinking, I am sinking. Is anyone watching me sink? The weight of water pulling me below, the weight of water. God, I need you to know I am trying, I am trying. I just need someone to pull. Raw, honest. I smiled at everyone on Sunday, said I'm fine the way you do. Put the armor on for public, and came home and fell right through. I don't want a list of scriptures, I don't want to be fixed with words tonight. I just want to know that you see me drowning here behind the light. Strain, reaching, and I am trying. God, I want you to know I am trying. Confessional, ashamed. I've done the things I swore I wouldn't. I've been the person I despised. I have stood at the edge of holy places, certain I had lost the right to be inside. I through what disqualifies and checked off more than I can say. And I have wondered if the grace that covers others somehow stops before it reaches where I've been. Honest, not performing. But there was a woman who was bleeding, who had been bleeding 12 long years, and she didn't ask, she just reached out, and he didn't pull away. Full, aching, overwhelmed, I am unclean and I am reaching. I am unclean and I am here. I am bringing all the wrong things to you, and I am terrified you'll disappear, but the hem of your garment is still moving, and my hand is still stretched towards your name. I am unclean, I am unclean, and you are calling me by name. Slightly more courage. There was a woman at a well alone at noon because the others came at dawn. She had the kind of history that follows. And he asked her for a drink like it was nothing, like the weight of everything she carried was not a wall between them. He already knew and he sat down anyway. Different words. He didn't list what disqualified her. He didn't turn and walk the other road. He said, I know, and kept on talking, like knowing didn't change a thing. I have rehearsed why you shouldn't want me. I have a list. It's long, but you already read it, and you're still here, 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 after everything, after all of it, you're still here. Daughter, your faith has made you well. Control defiance, eyes open. I have been on the floor. I have tasted the dirt. I have learned what it costs to be ground into hurt. I have counted the losses. I have named every scar. I know exactly how far down, exactly how far. what you said. I am not what I fear. I am not the sum of everything that happened to me here. I am covered, I am chosen, I am called by something greater, and I am done being afraid of you. Shouted over music. Not today, not ever again. Honest, measured. Healing is not a straight line. I learned that the hard way. 2 steps out of the darkness, 3 steps back into the gray. I thought recovered meant forgetting, thought restored meant good as new. But the scar tissue tells a different story, and maybe that story is true. Tentative hope, maybe I was not meant to be the person I was before all this. Maybe everything that broke me open was making room for something I had missed. Warm and heavy at the same time. This is scar tissue. This is what survival looks like. This is scar tissue. Not a wound, a watermark, proof that I was here, proof that I kept breathing. This is scar tissue. And I am not ashamed. Every line a story, every mark his name. This is scar tissue, and it's mine. More grounded, I used to hide the places where the breaking left its mark. Used to wear long sleeves over the evidence of every falling apart. But I have watched the way he handles what the world calls ruined things, and I think the scars are not the ending. I think they're the beginning. Turning heavy at the same time. This is scar tissue. This is what survival looks like. This is scar tissue. Thomas put his hands in the wounds, not despite them, because of them. The risen Christ still had scars. He kept them. He kept them. If he kept his, then maybe mine are not the things I need to hide. If he kept his, then maybe I can stop apologizing for being alive. I am alive. slowly. I did not get the miracle, the one I prayed for on my knees. The mountain didn't move the way I asked it. The storm kept on, the sea stayed rough for me. And I won't pretend that didn't cost me. Won't dress the grief in prettier clothes, but somewhere in the valley I stopped walking and found that I was not alone. Soft realization, not rescued from it, not removed from it, just accompanied, just not abandoned. Slow and heavy, deeply felt, even here, even in the valley, even here, where the shadow falls the longest. Even here, you did not leave me. Even here, you called my name. I did not get the answer that I wanted, but I got something better. Walking with more steadiness, I have heard of people who found you in the burning bush, the parted sea. But I found you in a hospital waiting room at 3 a.m. when no one else could reach me. Not in thunder, not in fire, not in anything that shook the ground. You were in the still small voice that said, I know, I know, I know. Even here, even here, yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, not around it, not above it, through it. And you are with me, you are with me. Even here, even here, you prepare a table in the presence of my enemies, not after, during. You are with me. During, even here, even here, even here, even here, even even here. Resolute, entering the fire. I asked you to change me. the things I clung to turned to smoke inside my hands. I watched the false foundations become exactly what they were, just sand. And the grief of losing comfort, even comfort that was killing me, is real and it is sacred, and you hold it tenderly. He sits as a refiner and purifier of silver. He sits, he doesn't walk away, he doesn't set a timer. He sits and he watches until he sees his reflection. So sit with me, I will not run from the fire anymore. Sit with me until you see what you're looking for. Until you see, until you see, until you see yourself in me. He saw his reflection. It was enough. Quiet, like waking up. I remember what it felt like to not want to open my eyes, to pull the darkness around me like it was the only thing left. I remember the weight of nothing, the absence of wanting to fight. I remember the last prayer I whispered before I ran out of words for the night. Something stirring, but the ground could not contain him, and the stone could not hold him. The same power that raised him was always in my bones, erupting full power. Resurrect me, breathe into the places death has been. Resurrect me, I was buried but I'm breaking through again. You spoke to dry bones, you called Lazarus by name. You reached into the grave and pulled out living things. Resurrect me, I am not finished, I am not done, I am the dead thing you made into someone. Resurrect me, resurrect me. Eyes open now, stronger. I have tasted resurrection. contain him, and the stone could not hold, and the same power that raised him was always in my bones. Erupting full power, resurrect me. Breathe into the places death has been. Resurrect me. I was buried, but I'm breaking through again. Lazarus had been in the tomb 4 days. 4 days. And Jesus wept. He knew what he was about to do, and he still wept. Because the grief was real. The grief was always real. And then some whispering at first. He called his name. He called his name. Out of the darkness, he called his name. And the dead man walked out. He is calling my name. He is calling my name. Out of everything I buried in, out of everything that buried me. He is calling my name. And I am walking out. And I am walking out. I am walking out of this. And I am walking out of this. Fast locked in victorious. I have been in the ground. I have counted the dark. I have learned every inch of the valley by heart. I have worn out my knees on the cold prison floor. But the door has been opened and I don't live there anymore. Searching, what can separate me from the love that raised the dead? What can hold me under when he's already paid the debt? Nothing, nothing, nothing. Massive, triumphant, no grave holds me, no chain holds me, no darkness has the final word. No grave holds me. Death is beaten, he has spoken, and I have heard. I was buried, but I'm standing. I was bound, but I am free. Hell could not keep him down, and it will not keep me. No grave holds me. No grave holds me. No grave holds me. Running now, not walking. I have the same spirit that split the sea in two, that walked out of the borrowed tomb on Sunday morning new. I carry resurrection in the body that they tried to break, and every single thing that tried to end me only raised the stakes. Who shall separate us? Nothing, nothing, nor life nor angels, nothing, nor the future, nothing, not any power or principality, nothing, neither height nor depth, nothing. wonder, almost disbelieving. I brought you the whole record, every page, every line, every name I should not have called myself, every sin I tried to hide. I laid it all on the table, certain you would stand and leave. And you sat down in the chair across from me, and you stayed overwhelmed. Not because I earned it, not because I'm finally good enough, just because you wanted to, just because that's who you are. Warm, devastating in the best way. I am covered, not because I'm clean. I am covered because you covered me. Every wound accounted for, every scar already known. I am covered, I am finally covered. I don't have to hide anymore, I don't have to earn this anymore. I am covered, and I am home. Settling in, resting. There was a woman in a field, gathering what others left behind. And the owner of the field saw her and told his workers, let her find the good rose, let her drink from what is mine. And he spread his covering over her and called her worthy of his time. Deeper, that is what you do with broken people. You don't just tolerate us at the edge, you invite us to the table. You spread your garment and you said, I fall warm, devastating in the best way. I spent so long believing that love was something I performed for, that if I stopped, it would stop. But you were never watching my performance. You were watching me, the real one, the one underneath all of it. And you loved her. You loved her. You loved her. You loved her. You love me. The version with the history. The version with the record. The version I keep trying to hide. You love her. You love me. Just like this. Just like this. You are covered. You are known. You are home. You are home. There is a moment after the breaking, when everything is still, when you can feel the weight of what survived and finally know its name. I have stood at this threshold more times than I can count, hands empty, but not the same empty, eyes open, and knowing what they're seeing now. I survived. Not barely, threshold looks the same from both sides. But you are not the same person who walked through it. You never are. That's the point. Barely audible. Even here, even now, even still. There is a moment after the breaking when everything is still, when you can feel the weight of what survived and finally know its name. I have stood at this threshold more times than I can count, hands empty, but not the same empty, eyes open and knowing what they're seeing now. I survived, not barely, fully. Every single time, here I am again, standing at the edge of everything. Here I am again, with everything I need. Here I am again, and I am not afraid. I am not afraid. I am not afraid. The threshold looks the same from both sides, but you're not the same person who walked through it. You never are. That's the point. Barely audible, even here, even now, even still.